Ladies and gentlemen, what you have on your screen, of course, is the vampire squid that I have discussed in a previous video, part number 51, I believe. And this is, once again, part and parcel of the Dildo Burger prophecies, brought to you by Michael Fazio and hoodwinked by an angel. And of course, there is the baby bomber who is here to destroy the world, which is part and parcel of the book of Revelation, and inside my book, Angels on the Ark, where I discuss the evil seed of death, that Obama is the key player, along with nuclear detonations and or a representation of a nuclear blast that I'm going to show you on the screen behind me in a moment. This is all part and parcel of a race of beings that have either come to this world and have dominated this world for the last 10,000 years at a minimum, because whoever created the pictographs or pictography or glyphs on the $1 bill, whatever it is posing as a godlike entity, which doesn't mean there isn't a God, but it is certainly representing God to a large degree, in that it has used the premise of good and evil to control the masses, which is postulated in my book, aka Angels on the Ark by Michael Fazio, which you can review by placing that into the web address. Moving along those lines, I will show you the nuclear detonation that I just spoke about as what appears to be a detonation over the eagle's head. Now, why do I say it is a detonation? Well, I say it is a detonation because in nature, a detonation is circular in motion and expands in puffs and expands in a circular fashion. And this represents a nuclear detonation, which is completely different in nature than what is known as a radiance or glory that appears over the top of the Great Pyramid, which is also referred to as the Eye of Horus. However, what I believe is that the entire $1 bill represents the angel of the Lord God that is discussed in verse 1 of chapter 1 of the book of Revelation, and the angel that was sent unto John from Jesus Christ through Jesus Christ's angel, and a series of intermediaries from God to St. John. And what I believe St. John's vision was, in reality, I believe that St. John, aka the writer or author, who lived on the Isle of Patmos and spent his entire lifetime writing about his vision and what he saw to be, aka the book of Revelation, I believe that St. John was looking at a holograph of the entire reverse and obverse of the $1 bill. And I believe that because there are several dozen places in the book of Revelation, and also the first 17 verses of the book of Genesis, which cannot be in any way, shape, or form denied, that they are part and parcel of a codices or a codex between the Living Bible and the pictographs that appear on the $1 bill. Now, I know this sounds insane, and it is. However, it is the most unique concept to hit the storyboards in the last 50 years. And the problem with this story is, if in fact it is true, and it is, and if in fact it is provable, which I have proven in my book, that means that the Catholic Church, aka the Vatican, has been lying to the populace of this world since the Council of Nice. And if that's the case, and my theories are proven correct, then there would be no reason for religion, because we would now have the understanding that a superior race of beings or godlike entities is actually responsible for the religions and philosophies of most of the major sects of religions and philosophies on the planet Earth. Therefore, no religion or religious institution will debate me in public, nor will they review my book in public, nor will Hollywood purchase the rights to my book, because as long as the controlled masses are being controlled, they have their grip on the masses. And they are about ready to institute Agenda 21. And the last thing they want is a revolution, because some clown, aka the crazy guy from Howard Beach, Queens, proves the existence or the non-existence of the godlike entity that which the Catholic Church bases its philosophy upon. This in no way, shape, or form diminishes or relinquishes the fact that there is in fact a God. It only perpetuates my thought process and many other people's thought process that God has been manipulated throughout time, so in order to manipulate the masses. Now, why is it so important for them to manipulate us? As I just stated, it is important for them to manipulate us so that they can maintain complete control. Plus, the sissies in dresses that walk around in the Vatican, if they weren't in control, the sissies in dresses that walk around in the Vatican would have to go out and get a real job, maybe pushing a wheelbarrow. And we can't have that. So therefore, what I have discovered, as far as this being a nuclear detonation and this being a radiance, that you can look up those two words, detonation and radiance, and you will see that they are two completely and opposing different types of pictographs. And then again, one more thing on this, and then we're going to move over to the book. Aside from the fact that the owl appears here, the horned owl, and aside from the fact that the hog-nosed bat appears on this side of the bill in the center when you fold the bill in this configuration, which you can do in the convenience of your own house. And when you turn it upside down, again, it is the horn-nosed owl that appears in the center. Here is the mouth, the two eyes, and what would be the beak. These things actually exist, ladies and gentlemen. Now, moving to my book, if you place the words angels on the ark in the Google search engine, you will come to a link that says Angels on the Ark, a revolutionary new book by Michael Fazio. And when you click that, it goes to my page, at which point you can view the book by clicking on the page and looking at the buttons on the side of the page, on the left-hand side of the page, that there appear to be 6 different buttons, and these are review buttons or chapter title buttons, and by clicking on the different parts buttons, home, about the author, preview the book, buy high resolution images, or view online store, you are allowed to review as many as 5 different segments. The segment I would like you to go see is press the evil seed of death, and when you get to the evil seed of death, it will open up to a chapter that discusses the eagle and the shield that appear in what I call the evil seed of death. Now, it's loading, and because there are dozens of pictures in that chapter, it takes about 14 seconds. But once you get to the chapter itself, it's relatively simple. The book has a full review where you can change the size of the images, you can change the resolution of the images, you can expand the images, and at this point, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time for me to get a bigger camera.